All right, guys. Yeah, it's going here. It's going here. We're definitely we're gonna call this one the video of the day. It's already dark, and the lights are running out. I'm gonna have to go get some more batteries. I run out of batteries for my headlamps, but that's okay. We got a couple of bucks, and we can get some more. But while I still have a little bit of light left here. I spent, it's New Year's Eve. Tomorrow's New Year's Day. God bless all of you. We all get a brand new start after midnight tonight. It'll be the new year. Everybody can turn over a new leaf, especially me. As a matter of fact, I probably have a bunch of leaves that I need to turn over. But let's not talk about me, unless you want to. I find it very, I used to laugh about when I first started learning the internet and YouTube and all that, and all people, all these people making, especially females, making these selfies, But here I am doing it, I make all these selfies all the time, I do, and, it's vanity. It's what it is, man, I don't know, it's vanity, it's shallow, it is, man. Yeah, but I just can't help myself, the first time you start looking at yourself, and especially when you see yourself on the internet, saying, oh, look how pretty I am. And I know I'm not pretty. I know I'm not. I'm the ugliest son of a bitch walking around. In this country anyway. And yet people still keep watching me. I'm like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, Oh, sanctuary. You know what I mean. Well, the old Hunchbacks of Notre Dames know what I mean. I hadn't opened that one yet. I do have an open one here. Yeah, the batteries are running out, so this is not going to be a long video, not like the ones I've made in the last day or so here. I told you all one about Sebastian Police Department and the video they made to counter-terrorize me, to counter what they did, but they still made themselves look ridiculous anyway. Their video, and it's on Facebook. It's on Facebook. It's not even on YouTube. It's on Facebook. I don't even know I need to figure out how to get this over to this channel. And there's another picture I'd like y'all to see too that I've talked about the first time I saw myself on the internet, and how to get those photos over to this channel where I can show it to you. I'm gonna try to figure it out. I'll have to pay my phone bill here soon, and the next time I go in to pay it, I'll talk to the kid behind the counter and say, hey man, do you know how to do this? I'll find somebody. I'll find somebody that'll, that's way more technologically advanced than I am, because I am not. But Happy New Year, everybody, and I guess I am shallow, and I guess I do like the selfies that I make and talking to you guys. I guess I do like it. It is kind of fun. If I had breasts, I'd probably make much more money, but I don't, so we'll just go with the big nose and, the lazy eye and, everything, and no teeth. We'll just go with that. Maybe we'll go with the Duck Dynasty routine. They did okay, so if they can do it, maybe I can too. But as I said, I'm going to keep this video short because I'm running out of batteries, and I told you earlier in a video that I made, if it wasn't the last video, it was the one before, because I've made a few of them today. But I told you one thing that would never happen to me is that, I will never be eaten by a polar bear, which will never happen.
That is not how I'm going to die. I am not going to die by being eaten by a polar bear, because you'll never see me up there, ever. Not even in the summer. Even their summers up there suck. So anyway, I did say, though, I could be eaten by a bear. It's just not going to be a polar bear. It's going to be a black bear or a grizzly or well, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you my bear story, because I do have a story about a bear. It was my first longest bicycle trip. I was coming out of Dothan, Alabama. Played the Peanut Festival there in Dothan. Fucking awesome festival it is. If there's any kind of way you want a peanut, boiled, baked, pie, fucking, peanut butter, you name it. Any way you can do something with a peanut, you'll get it there at this fair. It's in Dothan. It happens in, I'm going to say November. Google it. Don't wait till November, because it might be before that. But Google it. It's a really good fair, and it's old. It's an old fair. I mean, I'll bet you it's probably 200 years old, this fair. Maybe not that old, but probably close to it. I mean, it's a good. For us carnies, it's kind of like the last bastion. It's the last big fair, because after Dothan, everybody goes home, which is what I did. And that year, I was working a game. Normally, I'm a ride guy, tear down rides. But that year, I was working a game. And I've owned some games. I'll tell you about that later. But I was working for this guy. And he owned some games. And the game that he gave me was a ring-a-bottle, where you throw the rings around the beer bottles, and if you ring the bottle, you get a good prize, because it's hard to win the game. And I'll work that kind of a game because, I'm real picky about games that I'll work in or own, because I've owned several games. But I won't work those games that rip people off. I refuse to do it. I won't do it. I don't agree with it. I think it, and actually, as my career went on, I did notice that a lot of these show owners started weeding them people out, and make the games fair. So they at least did that. It did get better, over time. And so, God bless. They ran all the gypsies off, and I'll tell you about gypsies later. All right. But anyway, I carried it. It's the end of Dothan, Alabama. And I tell the boss, hey, one of the prizes that I gave away was beach cruisers. We had a couple of beach cruisers that we gave away as prizes, because it's kind of hard to win this game, but it's luck. There's no skill involved. If you win this game, it's like playing the lottery. You just got lucky. From my observation of the game and what I've seen with it, I'll tell you what, man. You parents, when you go to the carnival, go to a ring-a-bottle, all right? Don't you play the game. Don't you play the game. Don't you play the game. Let the kids play it. Buy them a $5 bucket of rings and let the little kids play it. Even if it's not your kid, some kid standing next to you, hey, kid, I'll buy you a bucket of rings, and we'll split the prize. Kids win that game the most. And my theory about this, I really don't have any proof or evidence, but this is just my theory about it. Because when that ring actually gets around the bottle, it's always a ricochet. It's always a ricochet. I mean, I've even taken rings and just held them, just inches, over the bottle and drop it, and boom, it'll just pop right off, And when you do see somebody win it, you see the ring spinning around the top of the bottle, and then it'll just settle on. So they're getting them on ricochets. And I believe the reason that kids win it the most is because their height, how tall they are. Kids aren't really tossing them up and over or down onto the bottles, which adults do. We're tall taller anyway than kids, and so we're dropping them down on the bottles, where the kids are winging them in sideways. They're winging them in. And that's what wins it, is the winging it in, and their rings will bounce from bottle to bottle to bottle and catch the top of one and spin down and get it. So I believe that's why kids win that game the most. There can only be one other answer than that, and that is just that God loves kids better. But anyway, the story that I was going to tell about the bear, I just had to bring that up about the carnival because it stuck in my head. So, but let me tell you about bears. We're coming out of Dothan, Alabama. We're heading down. We get all the way to the Florida Panhandle on this beach cruiser, beautiful baby blue beach cruiser, and I find this, it's late in the night. I used to ride at night back then. I don't do it so much anymore. But I get to this little convenience store, and it had like a pavilion on the side of it where the locals would hang out. They had some picnic tables out there for everybody. It's like a old-fashioned Wawa, And I roll up, and I start talking to these guys. I tell them my story, whatever, and I said, is there somewhere safe around here you think I could camp out? And I won't get in any trouble. And like, yeah, go over to the VFW, man. You can camp out. They got a bench, a picnic table, right next to the water. They won't care. They won't. You can save it. But watch out for the bears. Yeah, right, bears, in the Florida Panhandle. All right, well, thank you guys. And, I bought everybody a round of beers, and, and I went and I found the VFW. It wasn't that far from where we were at, and I found the picnic table and everything, and I laid my bicycle on one side, and I lay down on the other, because I was tired, I'd been riding all day. And I lay down, and early in the morning, it's, who knows, 2, 3 in the morning, and I hear, crunch, 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 my bike, that. Of course, raccoons get me all the time, And so I just, when I woke up from hearing the crunching noise, I was like, fucking raccoons, And I sit there like, hey, get out of there. But when I sat up, it was a fucking bear, a Florida black bear. A big one too, man. Big. Well, I did what anybody probably would have done. I get up and I fucking run, because the Gulf of Mexico is like right behind me, And I ran right to it, man. Right into the water, Got up as deep as my hips, and realized, what? Bears can swim. Idiot. So I stopped. I turned around, and I put my hands up, like, all right, we're going to fight a bear. But as I stopped and turned around, my hands up, ready to fight the bear, it had already, I don't know if it was a boy or a girl, I just know it was big and black and scary. And it stole all my food out of the basket of my bike and then ran away. As I stopped and turned around, I could see its butt running away with my lunch. I still spent the rest of the night there. I did, and I didn't feel in any danger. It already had my lunch, so I didn't think it would come back, and it didn't. I stayed there the rest of the night till the morning, and then got up and went back down to Fort Myers and climbed on a shrimp boat. But anyway, that's my story about bears. Alrighty, guys. Love one another, and I'll call you later.